Okay guys, it's finally time for a studio tour. We just launched this like 2 weeks ago, and so it took us about a month to build. We were gonna get an office space, but it was way more expensive than just getting a house to do it in. So we're doing it in a living room, we're doing it in a house, and then when guests come and stay at the podcast or at the studio, we have some bedrooms for them to stay in. The goal of this is to be able to bring 2 to 4 in-person guests. So right now it's set up for 2, as you'll see, but we could also go to 3 people, 4 people, and interview them in person. I still have my other studio at home I'll be using, but this will be a separate studio, and this cost us a little over $50,000 for all the equipment. Some of you are like, that's a crazy amount of money, but we've been doing this for 3 years full time, and God totally provided for the studio. I have a link to that video down below telling the whole story. So I'm super excited to bring you guys this to show you everything. I'm gonna nerd out. So if you're not a nerd, you might be like, I don't know what he's even talking about, because I'm gonna tell you everything we use, what I purchased, what we didn't end up using. We bought a bunch of stuff we didn't end up fully using, but maybe this will help you if you're building a studio, if you're a live streamer, if you're a church and you're trying to figure out what gear to get. This hopefully will help you guys in this video. So let's start with what runs everything, and that's the computer. And let me shout out to stintsbuilt.com. They really helped me out with this PC. Logan, if you guys get one, ask for Logan with this custom PC. The most important thing you can't skimp on is the computer, because that's what's running your stream. We're running everything at 4K 60. So that's 4K, 60 frames per second, live streaming and also recording. We're recording at like 70 to 100,000 bit rate, and then we're streaming at like 20 to 30,000 bit rate depending. So the first PC we got wasn't powerful enough. So we needed a better one, faster one, and just new graphics card. So let's walk over here and look at the PC. I'm gonna show you guys the back first. We have all 4 screens coming in here. These are going directly into the graphics card. And then we have all 3 of the cameras you're gonna see going right into a Blackmagic deck link. And this is the only really integrated PCI slot that you can get that will actually let you stream 4K 60. The Elgato Cam Link only does 4K 30. So the Blackmagic deck link will be linked down below. It's like $500, and I'll give you guys approximate price on everything. One of my pet peeves is when people do these videos and they don't give the prices. So I'll give you the approximate price, and then down below in the description, literally everything you're gonna see is gonna be linked down below. So you can check it out, look at it, buy it, whatever you wanna do. So here's the PC. We have 5 screens totally hooked up that I'll show you. We have a RTX MSI 4080 series graphics card, which is absolutely amazing. It's the newest, latest graphics cards you can get. We have a i9 24-core processor, 13900K. If I say some of these wrong, I have a lot to think about in my head right now. It's liquid cooled and everything. So this is an amazing PC, again, by stintsbuilt.com. Ask for Logan, link will be down below. And then we're still working on the cable management. As you guys can see, we have like 10 HDMI cables. We're trying to figure out what to do with the extra. We're working on all the cable management. It's still a work in process. We have these lights are interesting. These are the Godox SZ150Rs. These are RGB lights that are super bright spotlights. Now, most of these are used to light like faces or used with light soft boxes. We're actually using these to just hit the ceiling. These lights you see on, we're only keeping them on for the video, but these top lights in the ceiling are never gonna be on. So these aren't on, picture them not on. We're just using these to hit the ceiling and give a really soft RGB blue light, which gives it a cool effect that is unique. So that's what we're using these for. These are about $500. We're using a Rivelli C-stand. You could use any C-stand, but we're using the Rivelli C-stand for those. For the lights here, the light bars that you guys see, these are the Godox TL120s. These are 4-foot light bars. I absolutely love these lights. I highly recommend whatever you do for your studio, get the same brand on everything, because I can control from one app every single light from a click of a button in sync with groups and all that. So make sure you're getting, if you can, the same brand. I can't recommend these enough. These are RGB lights, and this is the Godox TL120 4-foot light. On the floor, we have the Godox TL180, which is the same thing, but it is a 6-foot version. So that's the 6-foot. These are the 4-foot, all in the same app. Up here we have the newer RGB panels. These are about $500 a pair. These lights, I forgot to say, the Godox are about $300 each. The 6-foot are about $400 each. And so these newers are amazing. Godox doesn't make these specific RGB light panels, but you definitely want to grab these. They're going to be linked, of course, down below. For the wall panels, these are just Art 3D PVC wall panels you can get on Amazon. I accidentally ordered the 12-inch ones, and don't do that. And get the I think these are the 16 or the 18, 19, something around there. You'll see down below. Get the bigger ones. Do not get the small ones and make that mistake. But these are all throughout the entire wall, the whole studio you'll see. These are interesting to put on. The best way I found to do it was getting command strips, putting them on each corner and then in the middle. But you want to get, it's weird, the command strip refills. So they're like the refills for the hooks. And I'll link those as well. You don't want the thick Velcro command strips, you want just the sticky ones. And you could also use liquid nails, but they ruin your wall. So those are there. This plant was about 300 bucks. We got it at Living Spaces in Manteca, California. The reason why I love this plant is because it's not a bright green, it's actually a natural, you say that's expensive for a fake plant, but it's a natural dark green, so it doesn't look super fake. And that's just, as you can see, shoved up against the wall. Let's just keep moving here to the computer. We'll move on through and I'll kind of show you guys a little bit of the PC. So here's the PC. We have, for the controlling the microphones, this can do 4 mics, the Rodecaster Pro 2. This is about $700 right now on Amazon. It's amazing. There's some things I'm working out with it still, but this is gonna be running all your mics. This will be putting your microphones into your PC. So this plugs into the PC. They go up in here into OBS, which if you don't know, we love OBS here. We have OBS, we have a Stream Deck here that can control all the angles. So from a click of a button, and we're still working things out, but as you can see, it's gonna control the angles. We have our reaction angles, everything like that. And that will be full of buttons. We're still getting it worked out. Basic Logitech speakers, Asus 27-inch monitors. These are gaming monitors, 227-inch. The beautiful thing about this is the monitor that my brother sees controlling everything, I have a mirror monitor I'll show you after. So this is a mirrored monitor and this is a mirrored monitor. And the reason why we have this vertical is because we're running comments on it and we're also running reaction content. So half of this will be comments, we have reaction content on the top. Whatever my brother drags over here, so if he drags a screen over here, then boom, I can see it on my screen and vice versa. And so having these multiple monitors mirrored is absolutely amazing. We have some AirPods here and a Gatorade bottle. You guys like that? There's some AirPod Pros there. And this is good for reaction content. He could have his over-the-ear. These are the DT990 Pros. These are awesome over-the-ear phones that he uses to monitor everything while we're using the AirPod Pros, comfortable, easy. The desk is just a very generic stand-up desk on Amazon, generic mouse pad, everything linked down below, just a nice mouse here that you can use, a nice Logitech keyboard, and it's all preference on this. Oh look, people are following us live right now. It's all preference when it comes to this stuff, but again, it's all linked down below, just super clean, super easy to use. All right, let's come over to my favorite part, and that's the cameras. I get so excited talking about this. I'm a camera nerd. For the main angles for like guest 1, guest 2, again, there's a 4 guest setup, but it's set up for 2 right now. We're using the Sony FX3. So not the FX30, the FX3. This is the Cinema line full frame mirrorless camera by Sony. I cannot say enough good things about this camera. I'm obsessed with it. I love this camera. It's a Cinema line camera, so it's Netflix approved. So if you're out there trying to film a Netflix documentary, this is approved Netflix camera. So we have the Sony FX3. This is about a $4,000 camera for just the body. And then we have the lens for the main angle. This is very important, is an 85mm FE 1.4. This is a G Master Pro lens, full frame, full mount lens, not the crop sensor. And then also I want to note we have ND filters on here. So you're like, why are you using ND filters inside? Well, we are blasting a lot of light on the set and everything's white. This is an all white set. So with the ND filter, think of it as like sunglasses for your lens. If we don't have the ND filter, it's blown out, it's too bright. So with the ND filter, we could turn the aperture down to 1.2 or actually 1.4, get the blurred background while not blowing out the actual image. So that's why you want an ND filter if you're trying to go low aperture, because at 80 ISO, which is the lowest you can go, it's way too bright at 1.4. So I want the 1.4 because I paid a lot of money for the lens. It's like a $2,000 lens. I want the blurred background, but I also don't want it too bright. So the only way to solve that is an ND filter. So get the ND filter. That will be a variable one you can twist. That's a link down below as well. The lens is about $2,000 to $3,000, and then the camera's about $4,000. So you're looking at like around $7,000 for the complete camera setup. And then these tripods are awesome. These are the K&F Concepts. You'll get these on Amazon, link down below, aluminum tripods, just super easy to use, ball head tripods. Again, I can't say enough good things about the Sony FX3. So for our guest 1 and guest 2, we have the exact same 85mm. Try to run the same thing on all your cameras. If you start mixing camera brands, different stuff, it just gets a different look. So you want to try to keep around the same thing. So we have 2 FX3s and you say, well, you just told me not to mix it and you're mixing it. So this is the Sony a7S III. This is the exact same thing as the FX3. It's just a full photography and also video camera with the viewfinder, but it's pretty much, ask anybody, it's pretty much the same thing as the FX3. These are running same thing as well with 4K, 60 frames on everything. And this lens is a 50mm FE 1.2 aperture G Master Pro. This is the fastest lens Sony makes, and this will be the wide angle shot. We're using a 50mm full frame lens, Sony a7S III. These are like $3,500. The lens is like 2,000 to 3,000 depending on the demand right now. So this is about 7,000, 7,000, 7,000. So you're like, you spent 50,000. This is 20 something thousand in just 3 cameras and a couple lenses, but they come out with an amazing image. This, we're not running an ND filter. And the reason why is we're actually running this at the 2.8 aperture because we want both guests' face to be in focus. And if we run it at a lower aperture, one person's blurred, one person's not. So we can't run it at 1.2, we're running it at 2.8 because it is a wide angle lens. Eventually for other content, we'll run it at 1.2, all that good stuff. I wanna show you guys also this is very interesting. This is a sound panel, but let me lower it for you guys really quick here and show you guys kind of what this is. So I found this idea from another YouTuber. This is a thick, like sound treatment, almost like a blanket. You hang these on the wall. The nice thing about this is we got these C-stands on wheels. You can see very nice newer aluminum C-stands, totally overkill here. But you can hang these. I found another YouTuber that did this. He hangs them from here, and that literally gives you a portable sound panel. So we definitely need to sound treat this room more, but yeah, we can move this around, lift it to the ceiling. We have 3 or 4 of these. We move around the room. Aesthetically, they don't look amazing, but they block out the sound, so they're definitely good for sound treatment. Okay, we have another Godox SZ150R, I believe, and this is just pointed right at the ceiling. So let me just turn the light off here, and you can see it just gives a nice blue, fills the room with some blue light. Another newer in the corner for hair light. It's on pink right now, but you can see it hanging RGB. We just wired it. Really nice wire management going through there. And that light is your hair light, so it gives you a pop, makes you stand out from the back, gives you depth of field. You definitely want hair lights. I know people are like, you don't need it, you have so many lights. You definitely want a hair light, it helps out a lot. All of our HDMIs and all of our cables, we're running through the back of the wall down here, as you'll see, the cable management. Here we just have a Ravelli C-stand, and we have an Aperture light box, 4545, on a Godox Lightmons LA150BI. And this is like, you might say, why are your soft boxes so small? I really only want to light my chest and my face. I don't want to just shoot light everywhere, like white light, because I'm trying to get an RGB colored look. So we want really small soft boxes. We just want to focus on the face and the chest. We have massive soft boxes in the other room. It just puts out way too much light and drowns out all the RGB. So I'm going for that neon, cool, retro RGB look. And so small soft boxes are the way to go for that. These are cranked up, they're blasting, they work perfectly, and those are to light up the guest. So you might also ask, why is one of them so tall and one of them so short? The simple answer is I'm wearing glasses, and so when I'm filming, I want the light really high up so it's not reflecting off my glasses. My guest, if they're wearing glasses, I'll lift the light up. If my guest isn't wearing glasses, I'll leave the light low. You don't want the light shining in your glasses and making that reflection, so that's why the light's up and the light's low. My wife was my last guest, and she doesn't wear glasses. So, okay, so we have cameras, HDMI cables, all running to the Blackmagic Elgato deck link. Also, not the Elgato, the Blackmagic deck link. Make sure you put your comments down below. I'll try to answer them because I know I'm going super fast because I always talk fast. So it is what it is. We have a nice little white, old school retro shag carpet that we just got off of Amazon. We have these nice stands here for the monitors. I'll have those linked in the description as well. You can just hook up monitors, but let's bring you guys into where it actually happens, and you guys can sit right here and I'll stand here. You can sit there, I'll stand here. So let me just show you guys these monitors. This monitor here, while you're sitting being filmed, this is what you're seeing. You're seeing this one has the chat on screen. Well, right now we have a cool retro background, but usually has the chat and it has videos. And then this one is mirrored, let me go down here, is mirrored what the computer's seeing. So as you can see my brother filming, it's mirrored whatever the computer's seeing, we're seeing here. So I can literally monitor everything and actually control everything from here. And the way we can control everything is from right here. We have a stream deck. So if you look down here, we have a stream deck with all the scenes, and I could literally just change everything up here. Another cool thing is this is a mouse, so I could control, point, click, play, reaction, just right here on this handheld mouse. So that's really cool. Of course, you already know, we have the Shure SM7Bs, my absolute favorite mic, with the cool white, you know, you gotta stand out, you gotta be different. And these you can get online. They take about a month and a half to get. I think they come from Europe, but that just stands out a little bit. That's running all the way to the Rodecaster Pro. Now let me say something very important. When it comes to the Shure SM7Bs, I always preach you need a cloud lifter, you need a mic activator no matter what. Okay, with the Rodecaster Pro 2 has Revolution amplifiers, you do not want a cloud lifter. You do not want a mic activator. I bought 4 cloud lifters for these mics, and I'm like, I can't get this buzz out. It sounds way too loud. And then I read on their thing, they said, do not use a mic activator or a cloud lifter because it's too much gain. So they're gain-hungry mics. That thing will output 76 decibels of gain. You do not need a cloud lifter with these. I know I always preach that. I tell everyone you have to have it, but not for the Rodecaster Pro 2. Amazing preamps in there. You see the Godox lights. We have 4 of those total. We have another Godox TL180 right here on the floor, and that's just lighting up the carpet and just filling that space there. We have a neon light. I'll link where I got that down below. It does 100 different colors, so you can do every color, every design, mixed colors, movement. It's fully animated, awesome neon. You can see we drilled it through these panels, and then we put the cords down behind the wall and all that. Keep all the cords out. You don't want those in your video. Another plant from Living Spaces, a couple $100. These chairs were about $1,000 at Living Spaces. And they're just cool chairs. They're comfortable, they swivel, they're the right size, they're the right length. They're awesome. These tables are from Living Spaces. These were, I wanna say $300 to $400 each. I know it sounds expensive, but they're very high quality, they're very heavy. We have holding the mic, the Rode PSA-1, which is, listen, I ordered 4 different mic stands. I ordered the Elgato Wavelink low profile, I ordered the Elgato Wave high profile. I ordered 4 different arms, and these are the best arms. I know they don't look as good, these metal bars. I'm not a huge fan of the aesthetic, but there's a reason why every single like well-known podcast uses those arms. They're just the best arms. They move around, they're easy to use. And so yeah, you know, we want to try all of these other stuff, but those end up working the best. The screens, these are Asus 32-inch curved display. So we have 3 32-inch curved monitors, Asus, and then we have 2 27 inches for the desk, so 5 total monitors. Again, the monitors at the computer are mirrored to the monitors here, and then we're using a Stream Deck over there and a Stream Deck down here to be able to control things. Stream Decks are a must. I don't know how I'd survive without them. We have some sandbags down below to keep the tables down, and I'm trying to think of what else. That's pretty much it. Again, everything's linked down below. This wall we did here, this is just an extra wall, so when we have 4 guests, we can move things out and put extra chairs there, and we'll have another backdrop for 4 guests. So it does, like, whoa, it looks a little small, but on camera it looks big. That's the beauty of cameras, is it's hard to tell if it's big or not. But we have plenty of space to move around, plenty of space to expand. We are in a living room of a house, and so I think this is pretty much the whole studio. I'm pretty sure we went over everything. We're about $50,000 total. I added it all up today. You can get everything down below linked. And hopefully it works out for you to build. When I was building my studio, I watched 50 videos, and a lot of them were very helpful, a lot of them weren't. So I was like, oh, I want to hopefully be helpful with everything and show you guys everything I've learned. So hopefully this helps you guys out, and let me know what you think down below. If you like the Nerd Talk, if you appreciate it, let me know. Just subscribe to the channel. And then if you have any questions, I will be personally going through. We set this up, me and my brother, by ourselves. We didn't hire a company, so I'll go through every question I could find and answer it the best way I could. Hopefully this helped you guys. We'll see you in the next one.